Welcome to Whispers of Forbidden Love, where hearts shatter and secrets ignite in realms woven with magic. Tonight, we unveil Betrayed by Her Sister's Kiss, a tale of devotion tested, a kingdom on the brink, and a betrayal that cuts deeper than any blade. Can love survive when trust is stolen under starlight? Settle in, subscribe, and let the masquerade draw you into its shadows. In the kingdom of Arendor, where mountains kissed the stars and rivers sang with ancient magic, the palace of Starfall stood as a beacon of power. Its spires gleamed under moonlight, their crystal tips catching the glow of a sky that never fully darkened. This was a land where spells lingered in the air, where every noble bore a trace of enchantment in their blood. And at the heart of it all was Lady Mira Valan, a woman whose beauty was matched only by her heart. Mira was 24, with auburn hair that fell in waves to her waist and eyes the color of spring moss. Her emerald gown clung to her as she stood before a gilded mirror in her chambers, adjusting a silver necklace that Kale, her husband, had given her on their wedding day. 2 years ago, they'd vowed their love under Arendor's sacred oaks, their union a symbol of hope for a kingdom frayed by old rivalries. Prince Kale, heir to the throne, was her anchor, tall with raven hair and a smile that could melt winter. Together, they were Arendor's golden pair, adored by the court, envied by the shadows. But tonight, as the palace prepared for the annual masquerade, Mira's heart was heavy. The mirror reflected her elegance, but it couldn't hide the doubt in her eyes. For weeks, Kale had been distant, his laughter rarer, his touch fleeting. She'd dismissed it as the weight of royal duties, trade disputes, border tensions, but a whisper in her soul said otherwise, and that whisper had a name. Seraphine. Seraphine was Kale's sister-in-law, or so the court believed. She'd arrived a month ago, a vision of gold and fire, her blonde hair catching light like a halo, her blue eyes sharp as sapphires. She claimed to be a distant cousin, raised by Kale's family after her parents' death. The court embraced her, dazzled by her charm. Mira had welcomed her too, eager to mend the loneliness of her own small family. But Seraphine's smiles felt too calculated, her glances at Kale too lingering. The palace maids whispered of late-night meetings, of laughter behind closed doors. Mira pushed the rumors aside. Kale loved her. He'd never betray her. Would he? What do you do when the one you love most begins to slip away, and the hand pulling them belongs to someone you trusted? That's where Mira's story begins. On a night when masks hid more than faces. The masquerade was a spectacle, the grand ballroom a sea of silk and starlight. Chandeliers dripped with crystals, casting rainbows over nobles in feathered masks and velvet cloaks. Music swirled, violins and flutes weaving a spell of their own. Mira's mask, silver with delicate feathers, framed her eyes, giving her a moment's courage. She descended the marble staircase, her gown shimmering like a forest at dawn. The court parted, their murmurs a soft tide of admiration. But her gaze sought only one person, Cale. She found him near the terrace, his black velvet cloak unmistakable, a golden mask glinting under the chandelier's glow. He stood with Seraphine, her crimson gown bold against the crowd's muted tones. Her mask dangled from her fingers, her face bare, as if daring the world to see her. They laughed, heads close, their ease a blade in Mira's chest. She moved toward them, her steps silent on the polished floor, the music fading to a distant hum. Then she saw it. Seraphine's hand brushed Kyle's cheek, her fingers lingering. He didn't pull away. Instead, he leaned closer, and their lips met, a kiss that stopped Mira's heart. The ballroom vanished, the world narrowing to that single shattering moment. Her breath caught, a sob trapped in her throat. Have you ever stood on the edge of a truth you didn't want to face? Mira's love was her strength, but now it was her wound. She wanted to scream, to run, but her feet were stone. Cale? Her voice broke, barely audible over the music. He spun, his mask slipping to the floor. His eyes, usually warm, were wide, with guilt. Mira, it's not what... Don't, she said, her voice sharp as a blade. The crowd blurred, their masked faces a haze. Seraphine stepped forward, her smirk a venomous curve. Oh, Mira, she purred, her voice dripping, with false pity. It was just a kiss. No need to ruin the night. But Mira saw the truth in Seraphine's eyes. Cold, triumphant. This wasn't a mistake. It was a move in a game Mira hadn't known they were playing. She turned, her gown swirling, and fled the ballroom. The terrace doors parted before her, the night air cool against her burning cheeks. She stumbled into the palace gardens where roses glowed under starlight, their thorns sharp as her pain. She sank onto a stone bench, tears spilling, her mask discarded beside her. Love is a fragile thing, dear listener. It can light a kingdom or burn it to ash. Mira's heart was breaking, but her spirit was far from broken. She would learn the truth, no matter the cost. Kyle found her in the garden, his footsteps crunching on the gravel path. He knelt before her, his cloak pooling like ink. Mira, please, he said, his voice raw. I didn't mean for this. It was a moment, nothing more. A moment? She laughed, bitter and sharp. You kissed her, Kyle, your sister, in front of the court. She's not... He stopped, his jaw tightening. She's not my sister, not by blood. She's a ward raised by my family. But that's no excuse. I don't know why I did it. Mira's eyes narrowed. His hesitation, his guilt. It was real. But so was the pull she'd seen in his gaze toward Seraphine. Tell me the truth, she said. Why her? Why now? He looked away, the moonlight carving shadows on his face. There's something about her, Mira. It's like a spell. When she's near, my thoughts blur. I fight it, but it's strong. Her breath caught a spell. Arendor was no stranger to magic. Its rivers glowed with enchantments, its forests whispered with ancient power. The royal family, Cale's bloodline, carried traces of sorcery, though he rarely spoke of it. But Seraphine, her arrival had stirred the court, her charm unnatural. Mira remembered the maid's tales, Seraphine's eyes glowing faintly at night, her laughter echoing in empty halls. Could she wield magic? Magic, Mira said softly, testing the word. You think she's controlling you? I don't. No, Cale admitted, his voice low. But I know I love you. I'd never hurt you willingly. Her heart ached, torn between love and betrayal. She wanted to believe him, to cling to their vows. But Seraphine's smirk haunted her. This wasn't just a kiss. It was a threat. Oh, Mira, you thought you knew your enemy, but Seraphine's secrets were deeper than a stolen moment. The game was just beginning, and the prize was Arendor itself. Mira rose, wiping her tears. We'll find out, she said. Tomorrow I'll face her, alone. Cale grabbed her hand. Mira, she's dangerous. Let me... No, she said, pulling free. This is my fight now. She returned to her chambers, the palace silent save for the distant hum of the masquerade. Sleep eluded her, her mind replaying the kiss, Seraphine's taunt, Kyle's guilt. By dawn, her resolve was iron. She dressed in a simple gray gown, her hair braided and slipped through the palace's winding halls to the library, a vast chamber where books glowed with faint magic, their pages whispering secrets to those who dared listen. Seraphine was there, lounging by a stained glass window, her crimson robe a slash of color against the stone. She looked up, her smile sharp. Mira, I wondered when you'd come. Why? Mira demanded, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Why, Cale? Why betray me? Seraphine laughed, a sound like shattering crystal. Betrayal? Oh, sweet Mira, you're so naive. Cale's not yours alone. He never was. Mira's fists clenched. He's my husband. You're his family. Family? Seraphine's eyes gleamed, unnaturally bright. I'm no kin to Cale. I'm a ward, a stray taken in by his parents. My true blood is older, stronger. I carry the star veil, a magic your simple heart can't fathom. The star veil. Mira's blood ran cold. She'd heard the legend as a child, a forbidden spell woven by Arendor's first queens, a magic that could bend hearts, twist love into obsession. It was banned, its practitioners hunted. If Seraphine wielded it, she was no mere courtier. She was a sorceress. What do you want? Mira asked, her voice low. Seraphine stepped closer, her presence heavy, like a storm gathering. the throne. Mira, Arendor's crown. Chaol's too weak to rule alone. Break him, claim him, and the kingdom is mine. Mira's mind raced. Seraphine's plan was clear. Seduce Chaol, shatter his marriage, and seize power through his ruin. The Starveil explained his strange pull, his clouded eyes. But why her? Why now? You're a fool if you think I'll let you, Mira said, her voice fierce. Seraphine's smile widened. You can't stop me. The Starveil flows in my veins. Kyle's already mine. Mira lunged, rage overriding fear, but Seraphine raised a hand. An invisible force slammed Mira against the wall, pinning her. Pain seared her chest, her vision blurring. The library's books hummed louder, their magic stirring. You're nothing, Seraphine hissed. Leave Chaol or I'll destroy you both. Mira gasped, struggling against the spell, but her love for Chaol burned brighter than her fear. I choose him, she said, her voice defiant. Always. Seraphine's eyes flickered, a crack in her confidence. The spell wavered and Mira broke free, grabbing a heavy candelabra from a table. She swung, striking Seraphine's shoulder. The sorceress stumbled, her spell collapsing, and the library's magic quieted. In that moment, Mira was no longer just a lady. She was a warrior,